Hey guys, this is Malinki. Welcome back to my channel Voice of Malinki. So today we will discuss about Neuroglia, and if you are new in my channel, please subscribe my channel, and if you like my video, please do like, comment and share my video. Let's talk about Neuroglia. So the nervous tissue consists of two elements: nerve cell or neuron and neuroglia. So we have already talked about neuron and nerve cell in the previous lecture. Now we will talk about neuroglia. So unlike neurons, glial cells do not have axons, dendrites or nerve impulses. So we know that neurons possess axons, dendrites, nerve impulses. But in case of glial cells, they do not have any axon, dendrite or any nerve impulses. Neuroglia are smaller than neurons, so they are small cells and they are more numerous in the nervous system. So they are found in more numerous form compared to neuron in the nervous system. In the central nervous system, glial cells include oligodendrocytes, astrocytes, ependymal cells and microglia. So these four types of glial cells you will get it in central nervous system. In the peripheral nervous system, glial cells include Swan cells and satellite cells. So in the peripheral nervous system or PNS, you will get two types of glial cells or neuroglia, that are Swan cells and satellite cells. So central nervous system or CNS, we know that in the central nervous system or CNS contains brain and spinal cord, and in that place you will get four types of neuroglia: oligodendrocytes, astrocytes, ependymal cells and microglia. And in the peripheral nervous system, that is in PNS, so in PNS you will get two types of glial cells, that are Swan cells and satellite cells. So other than brain and spinal cord, rest of the nervous system is peripheral nervous system. Okay, so now we will talk about these cells. First one is astrocytes. Astrocytes are most abundant type of neuroglia in the central nervous system. It is most abundant type. Functions of astrocytes are: they form blood-brain barrier, they provide physical support to neurons, they hold neurons in place, they maintain iron and nutrient concentration outside the neurons. So these are the functions of astrocytes. Now we will see the types. So there are two types of astrocytes. First one is protoplasmic and second one is fibrous. So they are similar in function. That means the protoplasmic and fibrous astrocytes, they are similar in function but distinct in morphology and distribution. So protoplasmic and fibrous astrocytes are similar in function but they have different morphology and they are distributed differently. So protoplasmic astrocytes have short, thick, highly branched processes. Protoplasmic astrocytes have short, thick and highly branched processes here. So here you can see this is the protoplasmic astrocyte. So they have the processes and these processes are short, these are thick and they are highly branched, and here we can see the nucleus is present in this case, and they are typically found in gray matter. So these protoplasmic astrocytes are found in gray matter, whereas fibrous astrocytes have long, thin laced branch processes. So this is fibrous. Here you can see they have the processes, those are long, thin and laced branch, and they are typically found in white matter. So this is the difference between protoplasmic and fibrous astrocytes. Now second type of neuroglia is oligodendrocytes. So these cells coat axons in the central nervous system and they produce the myelin sheath. So oligodendrocytes actually are those glial cells that produce the myelin sheath around the neuron. So here you can see it's very clear in this picture that this is the neuron, it's the axon of this neuron, and here this is the oligodendrocyte. It contains a nucleus and it contains the processes, and those processes, these are the processes, and those processes are making the myelin sheath around the axon of the neuron. This is oligodendrocytes, very important. Now we will see the function. So the myelin sheath provides insulation to the axon that allows electrical signals to propagate more efficiently. The myelin sheath that is present in the axon of the neuron, they provide insulation to the axon and it allows electrical signals to propagate more efficiently. So we have talked about myelin sheath in very detail in the lecture of structure of neuron. Okay. So next is ependymal cells. This is third type of glial cells. They line the brain and spinal cord. So in the brain and spinal cord, these ependymal cells, they line, and here you can see that they have the nucleus and these are the cilia that are present in those cells. So these cells are involved in the creation and secretion of cerebrospinal fluid or CSF. So these ependymal cells, they create and secrete cerebrospinal fluid or CSF, and they beat their cilia because we know they possess cilia, right? And they beat their cilia to help CSF and make up the blood CSF barrier. So they move CSF and they help to make up the barrier of blood and cerebrospinal fluid. Barrier between blood and cerebrospinal fluid is made by these ependymal cells. They also act as neural stem cells. So these ependymal cells are also neural stem cells. They produce different types of neural cells. Next type of glial cells is microglia. These cells are found in all regions of the brain and spinal cord, and their function, microglia, we know they are specialized macrophages. They are specialized macrophages and they are capable of phagocytosis that protect neurons of the central nervous system. So these microglia, they actually work, they function in the immune system. They are the immune cells. They are immune cells of our brain and spinal cord. So they are the macrophages and they are capable of phagocytosis and they protect the neurons of the central nervous system. So here we can see that they have the large nucleus and they have different processes. This is microglia. Next is Swan cells. So these cells are found in peripheral nervous system, and Swan cells provide myelination to axons in the peripheral nervous system. So these cells are producing the myelin sheath, and myelin sheath is present around the axons, and these cells are producing myelin sheath around the axon in the peripheral nervous system or PNS. So here you can see this is the axon, and here these are the myelin sheath, and these myelin sheath are made by these Schwann cells. Next type of cell is satellite cells. Satellite cells are one more type of neuroglia. and they provide structural support and nutrients to the neuron. So satellite cells are also found in peripheral nervous system, and they provide structural support and nutrients to the neuron. So here you can see this is the neuron, and this is the cell body of neuron, and this is the axon. And in the cell body you can see these are the satellite cells, these green cells are satellite cells. So they are wrapping the cell body of neurons, and then they actually provide the structural support and nutrients to these neurons. So this is all about neuroglia.